Hi, welcome to the Friday vlog.
Welcome to the Friday vlog.
And today we're going to be talking about something that really jumped out at us from our last podcast episode with Rob Cook.
It jumped out of us.
It jumped
out at us. It didn't jump out of us.
Did you think I said it jumped out of
No,
us?
I said that. It jumped out of us.
Like a cat jumping. But can I say something before we start that? I really wanted to acknowledge you for your Renaissance man qualities in terms of the shirt that you're wearing.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm quite proud of this shirt.
Should you say a little bit more?
Well, I was watching something on social media.
When you say social media, do you mean TikTok?
Yes, I mean TikTok. I haven't watched any TikTok this week, I have to say. I hasten to add, I haven't even been on TikTok this week.
Wow.
But I am quite fond of TikTok.
Did you think it was a problem? Is that why you stopped?
Well, I noticed that 30 minutes could just disappear in a heartbeat, so that got a little bit alarming to me. But I haven't been making a conscious effort to avoid TikTok, but I realise I haven't been on it this week. So I've created my own new algorithm of doing other things, evidently. So I'm watching TikTok, and there are a couple of things that come up on my feed where people are mucking around with dyeing their clothing. I guess tie-dye. And I don't know, for whatever reason, that became somewhat interesting to me. And then when we did one of our photo shoots for our new website, go check it out, rewilders.org.
Yes.
When we did the photography for it, I was wearing this very shirt, but in a much paler shade of blue, a light blue. And I realised that blue does not really suit me, and that I look really quite washed out in it. It's not favourable to my complexion. So I remember these TikTok videos, and I thought, I'd get myself a bottle of dye. So I went on Amazon, got a bottle of dye, got a bucket, poured it in, threw the shirt in, bish bosh bang, pull it out. Actually, I didn't pull it out when I was supposed to pull it out, and I didn't stir it. You're supposed to stir it constantly. I didn't really follow the instructions. I just wanted to sort of throw it in and leave it. And I kind of forgot about it, and I probably, what should have been, I think 20 minutes actually was more like 4 hours.
Unstirred.
Unstirred.
Shaken.
But
not shaken or stirred.
Not shaken or stirred, but what the result was a happy accident, because I actually came out with this sort of like a blue tabby cat version of a shirt.
Aww.
Sort of mottled. Not even really a tie-dye.
No.
But I actually like this effect. It's got a sort of camo feel to it.
I like it, but it's not tabby cat. It would be stripes.
All right. Well, it's not stripes.
It's too soon to talk about tabby cats with me.
Okay, too soon. But it has I don't know, I like it. I like the variegated, is that the right word to use? The variegated look?
I think so.
All right.
Well, I'm very impressed with your reuse of clothing, not throwing it away, making it work. So I like that initiative.
Yeah, well, thank you. Anyway, enough of us and what we're up to, what I'm up to with my shirts.
Well, the color does look good, though.
Oh, well, thank you.
It works.
Thank
Matches
you.
your eye color.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to Rob.
Yes.
So, the podcast, we're not going to do the whole episode, but he shares his amazing life story in it, so we really encourage you to listen because it's quite the journey. But there was one phrase that really jumped out at us.
It did. Leapt out of us. We leapt out of our skins at this one phrase.
Go ahead.
Well, that one phrase, was it a phrase? I don't know if it would be considered a phrase, but maybe it was. I don't know if it was a phrase.
Are we going to get into grammar now?
Okay, we won't go there. But what he was saying, which I really loved, he was saying how laughter is something that really puts you in the moment. You cannot laugh and not be in the moment. And then in terms of what he was saying about that and what we teach, I feel, and what he teaches too, that's worthy of consideration, because a lot about what we're saying is that when one finds that beautiful feeling, and let's say laughter is a beautiful feeling, it has to be right up there with a beautiful feeling, that is the realm of insight. So laughter must be putting you kind of into that ballpark of insight. But I like the idea that laughter is like, yeah, you cannot laugh and be thinking about something that happened yesterday, and you cannot laugh and be thinking about something that's happening in the future. You're responding to something in real time. So that really anchors you in the moment. And so much of what we do is extolling the virtues of being present, living in the moment. Here is something that puts you in the present moment. I don't know, I never heard it in those terms before.
Are you suggesting it as a technique?
Laughter therapy. I'm all over laughter therapy.
Are you?
No, I don't know, but I mean, it kind of like, it's interesting to me. That sounds very technique-y. And I would have probably had a lot of judgment if I found myself coming to LA and went to a laughter workshop.
They have laughter yoga.
I know they do, yeah. Mm-hmm. It looks a bit weird. Oh, it does look a bit weird. I'm getting judgmental.
You are. Watch out.
Yeah, I'm not being very open here. It would at one point feel really weird to me, but having said that, I did do an improv class where everyone was just forcing themselves to belly laugh. And then for me, what happened was the absurdity of that made me really belly laugh. It was like fake it till you make it. So yeah, I don't know. There's probably some great techniques around that, but I don't know.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed in our relationship is that your ability to laugh easily and to really want to enjoy the fun of life has really brought a lot of fun to me, and I've really appreciated that. And it certainly made our relationship very enjoyable.
Oh, well, thank you. I think that the moments that I really enjoy are when we all laugh as a family, when you and I and the girls find that space. And I'm thinking of one story in particular.
Which one?
Which is when you were working, you were involved in a treatment center. I guess, I don't know what your capacity was, what it was there. I'm sure it was a very senior position, but were you the director or something? What were you? I don't know. You were a therapist.
I was the lead. I was a clinical supervisor.
Yeah, well, that sounds very fancy. That's a wobbly head moment for you, isn't it?
No,
I saw it wobble.
It did not.
It did. Clinical supervisor.
It did not.
Anyway, so Rohini's a clinical supervisor at this treatment centre, and she'd been working there for a while, and she invited me, her husband, and her daughters to come to what was essentially an open evening. And I think this lady would she be considered a shaman? Would that be her mantle in life?
She studied with a shaman. I don't know if she was a shaman.
Okay, well, she was up to some shamanic antics in this open evening, and it started off with her wandering around the room and shaking a feather in everybody's face. So you hadn't really forewarned us as to what was going to happen. Maybe you didn't even know what was going to happen. And I think our daughters at that point were probably, what would you say?
Maybe 10 and 12 or 8 and 10?
Something like that. But here am I, supposed to be the responsible adult. And when this woman starts to shake a feather in my face, I start giggling. And of course, when I start giggling, I've basically given them permission to giggle. So they start giggling. And it just went downhill from there on in. We just couldn't hold it together. And I remember at one point, our youngest daughter, literally, it got the pressure built so much because we were trying so hard not to laugh, that she just finally let out this enormous belly laugh at the most inopportune moment in terms of like the point in this ceremony, which was probably at the most quiet. She like lets out this rip-roaring laugh. I thought that was wonderful. But I do think that, I guess a part of me looks for it. It's like, where is the laughter? Where is the humor? Where is the amusement in this situation? An actual fact, and that's actually quite a healthy thing for me to do.
No, I do like it because I don't necessarily always have that inclination, but I always appreciate it. Most of the time, I don't know if I appreciated it that time because I think I might have been a little embarrassed.
There is a time and a place for it. I think there's also the pressure where there is a time and a place for it makes it even harder for me to keep it together. Yeah,
but I mean, you weren't meaning to be disrespectful.
No, I wasn't, but I couldn't help myself, and they evidently couldn't either.
Well, we hope that you have a weekend filled with laughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, enjoy.
Enjoy.